What's up, guys? I'm back for another video in like a 2-week span. That's like a record. Anyways, gonna step out, got my Red Bull here. It's starting to get cold. I wanted to actually come out. I had an idea to do something. Well, first of all, happy December. It's early, mid-December. And here in Kansas City, we've been spoiled with some pretty nice weather. It's like 70 degrees like a week ago. Then we had some crazy windstorms. But it's starting to feel like December because it's 30, a little under 30 right now. And had this idea to come out and see how some of these machines would start up in the cold, because it's been a while, unfortunately, since I've fired up the mower, since I fired up the tractor, and I did actually start the mule side by side here about a week or so ago, so I know it's not going to have any issues starting, but I am curious with the tractor and with the mower for sure. And the reason I wanted to film is because, where do I put this camera? The reason I wanted to record is because I thought it'd just be fun to see, for comparison's sake, for my sake, because this year I actually put seafoam in the fuel, and I never do that. If you don't know what seafoam is, it's a fuel additive. I have some somewhere here. I know a lot of folks use it probably religiously. I don't, unfortunately, but I really should. And this barn is a mess. I still need to clean it out. Anyways, this is seafoam. Bought several cans of them on Amazon, and like I said, I put some in for the diesel on the tractor, on the side-by-side, and the mower. So I'm actually curious, especially with the mower, because I know that always has some trouble firing up, especially when the weather gets cooler. All of the machines here are hooked up to a trickle charger, so there shouldn't be any issues with the batteries. Got the trickle chargers off Amazon. But let's just fire them up one by one and see how they do. Hopefully they all fire up just okay, but we'll find out here. Let's start with the mule. Trying to figure out where to put my Red Bull. All right. I'm not going to go anywhere. I'm just going to fire them up. It's too cold. I don't like the cold. Lived in the Midwest my whole life, and I just still can't get used to this cold weather. All right. And I still have not done a video, sadly enough, on the mule. We got the mule here this summer, and just like buying the tractor, I actually did quite a bit of research before getting the mule, and actually found that there's not a whole lot of videos on the Pro MX model, which we have here. So I really do need to get a video out on one. But all right, here goes nothing. Let's see how she fires up. So once again, it's been about a week or so since I fired her up, but I have not fired her up in the cold. So once again, I don't think it's gonna have a problem. So we're good. Good on the mule, no issues. Started up just fine. Actually started wiring up these lights. I got them mounted. Haven't wired it up yet because it's kind of a pain in the butt taking the hood and getting behind to get the switch installed, so I haven't even finished that up yet. Now that it's colder, I'm just not motivated to get out here and do any work on it. That needs to get done. You know, on second thought, I'm gonna take the mule out for a bit. Breakfast. There's actually a video that I commented on. Somebody else just bought a mule, the same model, and I was telling the guy, I'm actually going to see if I can tag him. I was telling him that there's a squeaky sound coming from the wheelbase of this mule. I only have 25 hours on the mule, and I can't figure out where the squeak is coming from, so I should do a separate video on it. But I told him I would try to get a video posted of that squeak. Okay, up next here, we are going to fire up the Coyote. It's been, gosh, maybe a month or so since I've started up the Coyote. So we'll see how she starts up here in the cold. Get this trickle charger off. I'm not gonna take it out. It's cold. I don't want to get out there in the cold. Call me a wuss, but just not a fan of this cold, I'm telling you. So the thing about starting the tractor up when it's cold is you're supposed to wait a second. Here we go. I'm impressed. I am impressed. Started up way smoother than the mule. I actually thought there would be a little hesitation firing up since it's been a while and since it's cold out. And you heard it there. It fired up right away. I'm impressed. Very impressed. I don't know, for some of you watching, maybe it's no surprise to you, but kind of came as a shock to me because I'm always used to equipment kind of sounding a little sluggish when you fire it up in the cold. And that right there, I kid you not, yeah, just turned over right away. Cool. Okay, on to the Hustler. I can tell you for sure, I'm not going to be surprised if the Hustler doesn't turn over right away. I just haven't done the best job at keeping up with the engine like I should, especially over the winter months. But I did put in some seafoam over the last couple cycles, so hopefully that helps out. And honestly, I don't know if that's if you have a Coyote, let me know what your experience is like when you fire up your tractor in the winter months. So I don't know if that's the result of the seafoam or if that's just Coyote. But comment and let me know. Maybe it is a seafoam, I don't know. So here we go. Let me get the mower ready. Okay, here we go. Hustler X1. We're gonna see if she fires up this first try. Been hooked up to the trickle charger. Got seafoam. Here we go. Crossing my fingers. Just as I expected. Yep, almost. Yep, it's been typical of this Hustler so far every winter. This is how she acts up. That one wasn't a surprise for me. You can kind of hear the engine, the idling is not so great. That's how it always is. I don't know if you guys have any tips on how to make her fire up it better in the winter. Let me know. Any tips on that idling? That just might be normal given the conditions. But once again, I haven't fired up the mower in a month or so, and now it's cold. I did put seafoam in the last couple cycles, and it has been on the trickle charger, but once again, you hear I had to try to turn over a couple times before it actually turned over. So but man, I gotta say, with the Coyote, I'm thoroughly impressed with it turning over just on that first try. But it's cold. I can't stand this cold. All right, well, I'm gonna wrap things up here, but I just thought I'd make this quick video firing up my toys in there to see how they'd turn on in the cold weather, and they still started up, so I guess that's a plus. Well, there you have it, folks. Verdict: Kawasaki Mule side by side, fired up, mostly okay. 25 hours, brand new this summer. Hustler mower, as expected. Took a couple tries before she turned over. It's just the mower's been that way ever since I got it. So once again, if you guys have any tips, please let me know. The Coyote though, 3510. First winter, I've got about 25 hours or so also. Got some seafoam in it and trickle charger hooked up. Thoroughly impressed with the way she fired up. Yeah, that makes me feel so much better with this purchase, because I know when it comes to keeping equipment in the colder weather and kind of the maintenance, that to me is kind of an indicator of the quality of the engine and the build. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm not a big motor guy, I'm not a big engine guy, but I have been around at least lawn mowers my whole life, and I can tell you that when it comes to mowers, I know the mower sizes I'm sure play a role, but that to me is a good indicator of a well-built machine. So hopefully it stays that way. I'm freezing now, I'm cold, even though it's only 30-something degrees. I'm just not a cold weather guy. So I'm gonna go in. Thanks again for watching. If you guys have any ideas for other videos you want me to shoot, let me know. If you guys have any tips, tricks for keeping up with this equipment in the colder weather, let me know. I'm gonna do my best to really fire these engines up once every week, every 2 weeks, especially when it really starts to get cold. I do have trickle charges on all of them. I do have seam foam added to all of them. But if there's any other tricks that you guys have, be sure to share and let me know. Thanks for watching, appreciate it. And be sure to subscribe. I told my kids and my wife that I'm gonna try to really do a much better job about getting these videos out there, because I love being out here. I love being out in the barn, but I'm just not the greatest when it comes to grabbing that camera and bringing you guys along with me. So thanks again, appreciate all the subscribers that I have so far. So hopefully we get some more, and hopefully we can build this channel and grow together. Thanks guys. So I actually haven't done a video on our dogs yet. We have 2 Great Pyrenees. I really should. There's a lot of dog lovers out there, and just like our tractors, I did a lot of research on the dogs before we got them. But anyways, one thing I wanted to point out real quick, because I have some friends that always ask me about the dogs and are concerned about us never bringing the dogs in when it gets cold. Let me tell you, the Great Pyrenees, these are outdoor dogs, okay? They are, for us anyways, the most active when the weather starts to get cold. When it's hot, when it's warm outside, all they do is to sleep all day. When it gets cold like this, like I said, it's probably about 30 degrees or so now, maybe a little bit cooler. They're out playing together, they're out running around, having a good time. And their coat definitely thickens up in the cold weather. But I just wanted to point that out because, yeah, I don't know. Something about keeping these dogs inside just doesn't feel right. But this is their time to shine. Weather gets cold, and today they've been active all day, and it's cold outside, so